Alright, hey guys, my name is Ace Reddy, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to not get your ad account shut down. Okay, so let's get right into it. So, before we get into the logistics of what to say and what not to say and stuff like that, I want to talk to you guys about the Facebook's reverse pyramid. Okay, so one of the greatest things I see happening in this industry is people keep making these posts, right? That say something like, oh, I spent $10,000 last month on Facebook and they still decided to ban me. Zuckerberg is such a bad guy. Like, he's such a dick, you know? But the problem is, um, just because you spend a lot of money on Facebook doesn't mean that Facebook gives you a lot of importance, okay? And this pyramid explains to you exactly what Facebook cares about the most and also what Facebook cares about the least, okay? So let me put it to you this way. Facebook cares more about user experience than generating revenue, okay? So when it comes to Facebook, you can complain all you want. If it's a situation where they're making a lot of money from this one advertiser, but he's not promoting user experience, by user experience, I mean, what is the person using Facebook experience, right? So for example, if your ads are too controversial, even if you're making a lot of money, and if Facebook's making a lot of money because you're spending a lot, if the user experience is bad, they will not let the ad run, okay? Because they don't want to be another MySpace. MySpace was like they were selling advertising left and right, you know. Facebook has a better compliance system. Now, especially after what happened with Mark Zuckerberg getting sued and stuff, it's gotten even tighter. So Facebook cares more about user experience than it cares about making money. And it cares more about making money than making you money. Okay? And that's exactly why some of the Facebook reps that you get, you know, when you're just getting started, are really not very smart people. They don't really know advertising. You know, they're just salespeople trying to sell you and buying more ads and wasting a lot more money. It's because Facebook wants to make more money. Okay? So the point to remember is Facebook cares more about its users than it cares about itself, and more about increasing its profits than making you money or the advertiser money. Okay? So if you're running any ads that positively affect user experience, okay, so that make the user happy, Facebook will reward you. If you're running ads that negatively affect user experience, Facebook will punish you. Now, this is the base around which the rest of the compliance is built on. What are the rules and regulations of Facebook? I'm not really going to be going into the rules and regulations of Facebook on here, guys, because I mean, you guys can go read that on your own. So I'll just give you guys a few tips, and then we'll get into a few more what to do and what not to do kind of stuff. So yeah, but here's a few rules to keep in mind. By the way, you could go to facebook.com/policies/ads to read the full rules and regulations. But here's a few things to keep in mind. Now, disclaimer, okay? I'm not making any sort of guarantees that you'll be safe from Facebook's compliance. That's on you, okay? Because no one really knows how Facebook works. I'm merely going to be showing you guys the core things that we do know as of now to not get banned. The system keeps getting smarter and things keep changing, so it's very hard for me to do like one video that serves all and guarantees things. I'm just showing you guys what we do and what works for us and what doesn't get us banned. If you agree to these terms, you may proceed to watch the video. If not, you may turn the video off, okay? But anyway, so here's a few rules of Facebook. Number one, do not sell illegal or unsafe products. That's a huge rule, okay? If you guys are selling guns, you guys are selling drugs, you guys are selling alcohol, I would refrain from doing it. Like, do not use Facebook. Go to another traffic source. Because even if they'll let you advertise these products, right? And this is also something that's big with CBD stuff. If you're selling CBD stuff, like, I wouldn't make it that blatant that it's something to do with CBD, okay? Because some of these things, even when allowed, they're still in the gray area. You know, like drugs are not allowed and guns are not allowed, but alcohol, I think, is allowed. But even though it's allowed, it's still in the gray area. There's still a lot of rules around it, you know, which would just make it easier for Facebook to tag you just in case anything bad happens. So I wouldn't really run any ads to any unsafe or illegal products. Number two, no discrimination. So this rule is self-explanatory. Don't discriminate people based on their sex or race or gender directly. Now, as a marketer, I do understand that if your products are targeted towards one specific segment of the market, so for example, I know many female coaches that only sell coaching programs to women. Okay, like they don't really sell any coaching programs to men. There is a workaround around this. Okay, so the workaround is using different words and using different branding and just making it clear that you're not talking to men, or if you're in a niche like that, right? Or if you're only selling to men and you're not really selling to women, it's just that you gotta change your language a bit. Okay, now using words like, let's say, conquer or dominate or legendary or conquest or operation, these are words that will help you appeal more to the male audience. Okay, and using words like inspiration, manifesting will help you appeal more to the female audience. All right, and there's also a lot of things that you can do to play with color, and lots of other strategies that you can use to reach a specific segment of the market without being seen as a person that's discriminative. Okay, now usually you can target women on Facebook too. That's still an option. However, just don't make your language overly polarizing. Okay, so using words like inspiration, manifesting will appeal to the female audience, but it's not polarizing the men either, which is one of the reasons why it works so well. So another tip is to not be super flashy. No super flashy stuff, no sensational content. Okay, no weird stuff, guys. Come on, like we're like right now it's so easy to make money. Why do you have to do weird stuff? Okay, like I'm pretty sure some of you guys have these ideas and you think you're geniuses. Oh, you know what we'll do is, like, we'll put a torch on the thing and we'll light their screens up for like 20 seconds and then they're going to pay attention to us. No, they won't. You'll just get your ad account shut down because everyone's going to go in and complain. Marketing is not about being smart. It's about understanding the audience and giving them what they want to buy. So like don't do any weird stuff, guys. Just don't. You just don't. If you don't watch this ad, I'll show up at your doorstep tomorrow. Nah, don't do that creepy stuff. Don't use shockingly disgusting images of odd diseases to promote your product. That is some stuff that you can't even do on native ads as much anymore, right? You can't do that on Taboola or ad content or any other sites like that anymore. The whole, like, because you see these pictures that, like, they look disgusting, and don't do that stuff on Facebook, guys. It will not fly very well. It causes a negative response. Here's a few more tips. No profanity. Like on the landing page, in the in the video ad, and on the ad, no profanity. Don't even use the word. Don't even use the word shit. Like, don't even do that. Don't do no bullshit. Don't do no shit. Nothing. Keep it as clean as possible. Number 2, no nudity or revealing stuff. Don't even do any nudity, guys. Like this is 2013. So this is actually an inside joke, right? So back in 2013, Facebook was so cool and so flexible on its rules that you could pretty much do anything. Like we were advertising semi-nudes to get clicks, 1-cent clicks at that. But you can't do it anymore, sadly. Like even swimsuit pictures get a lot of heat these days. So no nudity, no revealing stuff at all. No before and after pictures. I forgot to put that over here. No before or after pictures. I don't care what you sell. If you start using before and after pictures, it'll just mess things up and you'll get your ad account shut down. So don't do that. No political or social controversy. Because the thing is, especially now, the whole political segment of Facebook ads, it's very, very clearly monitored, right? So like Facebook's taken a lot of interest into that sort of stuff. So unless you want the manual reviewers to go through every ad that you're doing, don't engage in no political stuff. Okay, no non-functional landing pages. So if your landing page has a button that doesn't work, Facebook is very serious about that sort of stuff. Because what happened was a bit of a history lesson. Is back in 2013 and 14 and 15 and even up until 16, actually, even 16. So what would happen is a lot of people would find ways to trick Facebook. Okay, so if selling a certain product was not allowed on Facebook, what they would do is they would use a software called as a cloaker. Okay, and what the cloaker would do is it would show Facebook one landing page, like basically it had the IP addresses of the people that were supposed to review your website, right? So these people at these IP addresses are going to see a different landing page. Okay, but the traffic's going to be running to a different landing page. Okay, so there's two landing pages, one just as a publicity stunt for these guys, and the other one takes it to the page you want to take it to. So usually these these pages that you show the compliance guys, they were non-functional, and that's how Facebook would like pretty much know that something's off. Now we can't even cloak anymore. They have very strict regulations against it. You cannot cloak anymore. And you cannot even use non-functional landing pages because Facebook's just going to get suspicious and they'll start doing some investigation, and you don't need that either. No copyright infringement, no fake news, because now fake news is a big deal. Do not spread fake news. Do not spread any copyrighted material. Okay, check out the full list on the site. If you're sort of advertising any product, like make sure you tag the brand in and that kind of stuff too. That's very important these days. Honestly, anything that gets you a great amount of negative feedback is a no-no. So don't even over polarize your market. Like don't write ads like, oh, if you're broke, stay broke or something like that, because that is going to get you a lot of bad press, right? And you don't need that. Now, do you want to learn how to trick the algorithm into thinking that your ads are super positive? I have a game plan for you. Use a lot of words and images that promote positivity. And this is the weird trick, guys. This works. I've tested this on a wide range of accounts. It's crazy how cool this works. So if you use anything with a lot of positivity in it, anything that shares positivity, it's really going to get a lot of results. Okay. Now, using pictures of blue skies and pets and kids laughing and that kind of stuff, it really helps. Now, you're probably curious as to how Facebook knows if there's pets in a picture, or if there's pets, or if there's kids laughing, or if there's blue skies. How does Facebook know? You're probably curious, right? So Facebook has this tool that they use, right? And there's an Amazon tool too. I forgot what the name of the tool was. So you could go to that tool and you could upload a picture, and it's going to scan the picture, because the artificial intelligence these days is extremely powerful, guys. Like it'll scan a picture, okay, and it'll tell you how many people are in the picture and what their activities are. Now, another way to prove it honestly is that, like, remember when you uploaded pictures of like with you and your friends on Facebook, and Facebook would put a box around your face and ask you to tag you in or tag someone in? So that's how smart the algorithm is. It scans a picture and it knows what the heck is going on, right? The algorithm can literally detect about everything about your Facebook ad creative, so don't underplay the advantages. Facebook quality score also plays a huge factor too. Okay, so if you're drop shipping, make sure that you tell your customers the ETA of product delivery, and also have solid support systems in place. Because like if you're selling e-commerce stuff, right, Facebook is now sending a survey to your customers asking them if they've received your product. Okay, so make sure that you contact your customers and keep them in good support. And honestly, guys, if you're drop shipping, you gotta start branching out to new traffic sources, especially when you're scaling. Okay, because this can have a negative effect on your ad account. So test the products quickly and scale faster with different traffic sources. And also make sure that you email your customers and tell them to be patient, and have solid support systems in place so people don't complain about a negative user experience with your ads, negative buying experience with your company. Sorry, not ads. And move on to a better business model as fast as you can, as I said. Now, a few more key notes. So a great copywriter and a friend of mine called Ali's AJ, and you can follow him on Facebook. He had a few tips from his personal notes that were brilliant. Okay, and I'm going to walk you through some of those with my own interpretations to it. Number one, the golden rule: never make your customer feel like he's being targeted by an ad on Facebook in a threatening or an embarrassing way. Okay, and never make you claims. So if you're if because one of the okay, so another quick story, right? So back in 2015, I was making a lot of money. 2014, I was making a lot of money selling name t-shirts. Okay, so what is a name t-shirt? So if your name is Sarah, we had a tool back then called the Social Lead Freak. Okay, and using that tool, you could basically target everyone that had the first name Sarah, and you could sell a product similar to them, product specifically to them, right? So what we would do is we would create a shirt that says Sarah is awesome, right? Like the design would say Sarah is awesome, and we'd target everyone that had the first name Sarah, and we'd run ads to them, right? And a lot of them were like, "Oh, this is so awesome," but a majority of them got creeped out. They were like, "Dude, Facebook's giving our information away," you know, like this is scary. That's when Facebook decided to like tighten up their privacy laws and really go after people that are doing that sort of stuff, right? Where they make the customer feel targeted, and you can't run name campaigns anymore. And now, especially now, a lot of these options are completely restricted, right? Facebook wants all advertising to be native in a way, to be more native. It doesn't want advertising to be confrontational. It wants the ads to somewhat blend in and really look like the person wasn't very specifically targeted because he did something, right? It's just a yeah. So use the word "you" with caution, because using the word "you" can get you in trouble. Okay, so advertise your products in a third party form. So for example, like it's like, "Oh, you like this page, so I decided to send you an ad." It's a bit too confrontational for the cold audience. The warmer audiences, you can do it. Because they like the page and they know they have some effort in. But when it comes to cold, then you're like, "Hey, you, I know you like to eat bagels. Here's a few bagels for you." That's just gonna creep people out. So don't do that, right? Advertise your products in a third party form. So for example, let me show you how to generate XXX leads at $5 a pop. That's completely unacceptable because it's a you claim. It's like, "Oh, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that." Like, if that whole sentence it'll get you banned. Let me show you how to do X, that'll get you banned. Because you're making a claim. And if you don't keep your claim, Facebook knows that the customer is going to be pissed at you and ultimately at them, right? What is acceptable, however, is when you talk about yourself. It's like, "Okay, my unique process is generating XXX leads for $5 a pop," right? Another copy that's favorite of mine is actually "Do you love X?" which is, "Do you love animals? If yes, then this is a product for you." Because it's more indirect, right? It's not very direct. It's not confrontational. It's more about, okay, well, if you like animals, then this is for you. It's a qualifier, right? So quite honestly speaking, guys, if you're selling a cool ecom product, you really won't have a lot of problems, right? The only time you're going to have problems is if you're selling coaching consulting services, supplements, investment opportunities, Bitcoin stuff, other products that have been somewhat problematic in the past. Okay, so if certain products have had a certain tag to them, that's when you start running into problems. But if you're selling random e-commerce products, like physical products, cool looking products, you shouldn't really get into any trouble. And Facebook's gonna like let a lot more things slide. Just don't make it sound too threatening or targeted. Okay, so are you looking to buy a home? That's not that acceptable. Okay, because it makes it seem like he's about to buy a home, and that's just creepy, right? Are you looking to buy a home? And the guy's like, "Geez." Honestly, even this is actually not that bad. Like you might not even get banned for that, unless you've had negative history. If you have negative history, this might take you down. But like if your history is not that negative, this might not get you banned. You know what will? Are you looking to buy a home in New York? Creepy. Are you looking to buy a home in X Avenue? Nope. Creepy. Extremely creepy. Dang on a fly. No sensational words. Do not use sensational words, guys. There is, like, I don't know how many times I've repeated this, but like there is no need to write the word secret in your ad. Okay, I don't care how many gurus are teaching you how to do this. You shouldn't write the word secret in your ad. It's as simple as that is. Like, this has been the advertising law for a while now. Okay, like secret desire, like the secret system, the miraculous system, that just looks shady, right? This looks sketchy and sounds sketchy. So no, don't look like a stalker. No time frames either. Okay, don't ever use time frames, guys. Okay, so this is a key rule to never say you will lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Never say you will make 100K in 100 days. There's two major things wrong with both of the claims, right? Number one, there is a time frame, which is a problem, but there's an even bigger problem, which is there is a bold direct claim, which is not allowed either. The ad will not get approved, and even if it does, you'll get your ad account shut down on the manual review stage, and I'm going to get to that in a second here. So no withholding information or clickbait either. You can't run ads like click to see if you're making these 7 marketing mistakes, because that's essentially clickbait, right? So that's like, well, I mean, you're making these mistakes, but if you don't click on the ad, you'll not know what they are. Now, in the laws of advertising, right, this is an excellent headline, but in the laws of compliance, it's not that excellent of a headline. So you just got to figure out how to reword things and give them basically write closed loop statements, right? So instead of that, you could write something like 7 marketing tips to increase your conversions. So that's closed loop. People can click on it if they want to click on it. And that's what Facebook wants. They don't want you to create the need to click on it. They want people to have that choice and make that decision on their own. Yeah. Facebook's essentially being a social justice warrior, honestly. Don't try to induce a lot of, you need to read this now, kind of curiosity. You could play with curiosity, guys. Just don't stress hard on it. 32 UK towns with hilarious names that actually exist. That just gives a person an option, right? So he's like, okay, well, I want to see what these are. Let's see. He clicks on the link and pulls up the article. So that's acceptable. Okay. What, however, is not acceptable is if you say, check out these 32 hilarious town names in the UK. That's not a closed loop statement. That's like you're pushing on curiosity, right? Again, this might not really get you banned either, unless you have had a dirty history. Okay, but still, best behavior to find alternatives. No present continuation, assuming that they have a certain behavior. When you say things like you're eating certain types of food, like eating certain types of food will get you X disease and stuff like that, you're generally assuming their behavior, and Facebook doesn't like that, right? Because that just makes people feel bad about what they're doing, So never use never use stuff like that. Instead of that, you could use other titles like certain types of food that will make you healthier, certain types of food to avoid. I wouldn't even do certain types of food to avoid. That's just fear selling. By the way, that's another thing. You can't do fear selling on Facebook as much. Oh, jobs are dying. You got to buy from us now. No, you can't do that, sadly. So instead of saying something like that, right, you could say certain types of food to get healthier. Okay. Now, another tip, guys, is Facebook doesn't want you to sell using fear. Facebook doesn't want you to sell using shame. So don't do that. Just sell using the positive benefits. Emphasize on the positive benefits more than the fearful and the shameful parts of things, right? So now let me cover the second part, which is how does Facebook make sure that the advertisers don't negatively affect user experience and that the rules are followed. So for that, Facebook has what I refer to as an enforcement system. Okay, so there's 4 methods primarily that Facebook uses to enforce its rules and regulations. Okay, method number 1, automatic reviews. So Facebook's algorithm, and this is the first round, right? Facebook's algorithm reviews your ads, your ad sets, and campaigns for any policy violation before publishing. Okay, so A human being doesn't do that. This is the computer doing it. Okay, the AI doing it. So their system looks predominantly for any words that indicate that an ad could be unsafe, not just words, but also the images of the ad to see if there's anything that is hurtful or painful in it, and it can detect that. If there's three kids in a picture that look sad, Facebook knows that there's something off here. Okay, and that triggers a manual review, which we'll get to in a second here. Words and phrases like suicide, rape, murder, that kind of stuff will get you banned off the bat, no doubt. And some other phrases like comment on this post and that kind of stuff is referred to as engagement bait, and this will kill your reach. So if you're writing if you're using phrases like comment on this post and that kind of stuff, it's not going to work. Like engagement bait is going to kill off your ad. And also, it scans for any direct policy violations and disapproves ads if you break any of the rules. Okay. Now, after that, then you get into manual review. So, if any policy violation is detected, right, at any time, you could undergo what is referred to as a manual review, okay, by an actual Facebook compliance agent. Now, when a manual review is triggered, your ad account usually freezes for a few hours, and then they review all your ads, okay, even the ones that you turned off. To look at everything. And this is the problem, right? Because let's say you've launched 4 or 5 different ads and 3 of these ads didn't get approved. So here's a tip I'll give you guys, right? And this tip alone is probably worth the whole video. As soon as an ad gets disapproved, delete it. Do not keep it on your ad account, okay? Because in a situation where you trigger a manual review, a human being is going to look at your ads. Like someone from Facebook's team is going to look at your ads, and he's going to look at all your ads, not just the ones that got approved. See, he's going to pull up the ads that didn't get approved, that especially got disapproved, to try to see what you tried to do there. Okay, and he'll review that too, even though it's disapproved and even though you never ran it. Okay, but if it's deleted, they generally don't do anything. So delete the disapproved ads as fast as you can, and that will save the health of your ad account. And the way it usually happens, guys, is you'll know, like your ad account is going to be freezed. You can't spend any money for a while, and that's when the manual review takes place. Business manager rules. So this is another way that they try to enforce rules. So there are certain automated rules and thresholds on your business manager. Okay, so Facebook places a limit on all things you can do and cannot do based on how new your account is, how new your business manager account is. So they can restrict your ability to create new ad accounts. They can restrict your ability to spend too much money off the bat. That's another way of them improving user experience and reducing the number of rebellious advertisers that break rules all the time. So because if someone gets their ad account shut down, they can get a new account and start running. This way, Facebook will catch up with them, and they won't be able to do a lot of damage before Facebook catches up with them. So yeah. Another method is Facebook tags. So Facebook keeps track of user complaints and that kind of stuff and tags them to your account, which leads to complications. So if your ads receive a lot of negative feedback, you get tagged. If you don't complete your payments to Facebook on time, you get tagged. And these tags add up, guys, and a negatively tagged account is going to be expensive, okay, and can sometimes get banned too. It's going to be more expensive than most other accounts, right? So that's how Facebook pretty much enforces everything. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this module. I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, peace.